All right, we're live. The No Look podcast. Tyler had a pen mustache. Your boy Osoy, the man, goddamn. Tyler, let's not waste any time. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff going on in the sports world. NFL season ended, what, about a month ago, but
Yep.
we're already talking about it here in March. I mean, first and foremost, I guess the biggest news probably yesterday. Tom Brady, couldn't even let college basketball have its one moment. Selection Sunday, he had to come out and say, I'm unretiring. I will be back for year 23 in Tampa Bay. Tyler, as a, I don't know if I want to call you bandwagon or like fair weather Tampa Bay Bucks fan, what's your initial reaction?
Well, Brady said, fuck them kids, and he's coming back to Tampa. I was driving down Dale Mabry, as most people know in Tampa Bay, the major highway that drives past Raymond James Stadium. And there was still billboards up of Brady. And I was like, if this guy's retiring, then why do they still have the billboards up? Let's move past it. Let's move on. And it was funny because I said it, and later that day, I get a notification from ESPN saying that he's coming back. So I have two theories. That being the one, the Bucks knew it. They had an inclination, as they have said, the GM and head coach have said that they had a small inclination that Brady would be back. But also, my main one is Brady really wanted to rock the creamsicle joints this season. The
Mm,
Bucks first time wearing them in a very long time. Brady
those are
said he's
bad
always
luck.
wanted to.
Those are bad
Brady's
luck.
always wanted to wear them, and he's coming back to rock the creamsicle jerseys for the Bucks. And might I add, Austin,
Yes.
last time Brady lost in the playoffs, the next season he won the Super Bowl. So
Well, I do not like the signs of that. On the heels of the Packers, just I guess we'll call it re-signing Aaron Rodgers. He stated he came out, he claimed that he'll be back in Green Bay, Titletown, USA. However, there is no official contract made just yet. They are still in negotiations, but a good sign, Tyler. We
a
could.
very good sign, Austin.
Yes.
Want to know why?
Why's that?
Packers at Bucks.
Hmm.
Right, Raider? Packers at Bucks. Get out of the screen, dude.
The
Uh,
mascot.
Packers at Bucks. Austin's coming down. I'll get the tickets. I'll pay for them. I don't even care.
Well,
Um,
shit. I'll fly Spirit or Frontier. Get there on a
get
budget.
get your fucking parachute ready. They're gonna
Yeah.
say, "This is your stop. Aim for Brady's head."
I'm gonna wear my cosplay fucking Batman squirrel suit so I can just fucking fly out. Ah!
The Jets are gonna be flying over, and Austin's gonna be taking the tailwind with it.
I'll take some fucking pet falcons on the plane with me. Just pop the door open, tie 'em to my belt, and just fly off into the sunset.
Uh,
uh,
well,
yeah, I'm
he
down. Fuck it, yeah.
he wanted to play Rodgers, or Rodgers wanted to play Brady, or vice versa one more time. Uh, Two goats going at it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
both teams
Yeah.
they re-signed a lot of players. I'll talk about the Bucks. You could talk about the Packers. The Bucks re-signed Jensen. They got his contract restructured. Big signing at center. They re-signed Carlton Davis at cornerback, so that's bolsters their secondary a little bit. Franchise tag Chris Godwin. Obviously, he's not upset about that. Happy that Brady's back. They lost Kappa, and they also lost Marpet. Marpet retiring, and their other guard, Alex Kappa, going to the Bengals.
Mm.
So their line is kind of a little bit altered. They still have Donovan Smith and Tristan Wirfs on the outside. And then Fournette and Gronk obviously remain to be seen. But Brady back, Gronk
Mm-hmm.
has to be back.
Yeah, you gotta imagine Gronk will be back. It's a Batman Robin duo. There's no Brady without Gronk, and I'm sure he'll get his partying months in, and then he'll be like, you know what? I'm kind of bored now. Let's go back to playing football. Tommy's back. We got another championship to win. But yeah,
I will say this does slam the door and makes me a little sad about Jimmy G not coming to Tampa,
mm,
because I thought Jimmy G would thrive with all the strip clubs down here, and he's handsome as
mm.
hell for no reason.
Tyler just wanted to randomly bump into him at fucking Space Odyssey or something. Yo, let me buy you a fucking shot. Let's get VIP, Jimmy G.
First it was John Henson at Odyssey. I wanted it to be Jimmy G.
Mm. Yeah, definitely two different echelons right there, John Henson and Jimmy G. But yeah, like you said, or actually, before I get into it, Tyler, obviously biggest winner of yesterday, Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting Tom Brady back. Biggest loser, I heard a thing about I think it was earlier in the day on Sunday,
Oh, Jesus.
hours before Brady announced his unretirement, his last touchdown pass in the NFL was auctioned off for $500,000. Now this guy's just got, any other Tom Brady touchdown pass football that he paid $500,000 for, as we now know that it will not be his last touchdown pass. I mean, how does that make you feel? That's like, I don't even know how to compare that. Like, maybe you win like a high stakes fantasy football championship and then they give a stat correction the next day. Like, I don't know. $500,000 for just an NFL football that Tom Brady touched is pretty much all it is.
I mean, honestly, there's only two things that could possibly come of this Brady freak accident, never plays
Ooh.
football ever again. The value of the ball stays the same, or this guy goes after Brady and kills him himself. It's no either if, ands, or buts about it. I mean, I would be livid. I mean, obviously, if I'm spending $518,000 on a football, I got money to blow. But
Yeah.
I would be livid if this happened, especially literal hours before Brady comes back. Brady had to hear that and it's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm coming back.
Yeah, just spite the guy. You never know. It could be. I'm sure it still holds some value. It's like the
second retirement.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like Jordan. I'm trying to make a comparison. Anyways, we'll get into the Packers free agency. Like I aforementioned, Rodgers, in talks of signing a new contract of 4 years. Again, he hasn't signed anything official. I'm sure that's probably the goal both parties are trying to agree upon. They franchise tag Davante Adams. News comes out Davante doesn't want to play under a franchise tag. And listen, I don't blame him, and I don't necessarily think that's bad news. Rodgers signed in 4 years. They'll probably get Davante for another 4 years at least. Great news for me as a Packers fan / owner. They get Devondre Campbell back, All-Pro, middle linebacker who got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. They re-signed Preston Smith. On the other side of things, they let go Zadarius Smith. He was injured a lot of last season. Gave the Packers a good few years. I think he was there like 3 years or so. Bill Turner they cut, who came in, played good minutes at right tackle for the Packers. But I'm optimistic. I'm excited, Tyler. You can't say that I was ever worried because I was very outspoken. I was confident. If they got Rodgers back after last offseason, I was confident they were going to bring him back this year. Everything they were saying, he was in a lot better place with the Packers organization and whatnot. So yeah, I'm happy. The TB12 news, not great, for Packers fans. I thought we were going to have the NFC to ourselves, pending what happens with the Rams. But hey, we'll keep it interesting. Maybe we'll get another Rodgers-Brady rematch in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers, I think they made the right decisions with who they kept, especially on defense, keeping Preston Smith and what's his name? Campbell, sorry.
Yeah.
I do think Zadarius Smith would look great in silver and black, and I'm not just saying that, but
you're gonna have him.
I kind of want him. I mean,
we got Rashawn Gary. We don't need him.
The guy's a beast. But I kind of lends me to ask the question, well, if you think that Davante Adams is going to get a long-term deal, then how are they going to restructure that many contracts to fit it? Because Davante Adams is getting the max. Like, this guy is getting – Christian Kirk got $84 million for 4 years or 5 years, whatever the case may be. This guy's getting $150 million, no issues for 6 years.
Yeah, no, deservedly so. Tyler, I don't claim to be a money wizard, when it comes to all these contracts. I know there are ways you can work around it, like, future money versus guaranteed money, incentives. They could probably put in like a bullshit incentive, like if you get over 1,000 receiving yards, pretty much a guarantee you'll get X amount of dollars, which, they could probably work around it like that. However, like you said, yeah, if they're gonna sign Rodgers back and Devontae, that's gonna be a hefty chunk of change right there. Probably won't be able to do too much else in free agency, but there are some other guys that they could probably get for whether it's the veteran minimum or a lower monetary amount. I say we jump right into it, Tyler. We can go down the list team by team. Obviously, we did the Bucks and the Packers. We'll go in alphabetical order as CBS Sports has put this list in. Arizona Cardinals, they bring back James Conner, Zach Ertz, Dennis Gardeck, Michael
Gardick?
Dogby, Gardick. It's
Gardick.
Deck.
Okay, Gardeck.
Gardeck. Colt McCoy. So
Mm.
looks like James Conner did just enough, and Zach Ertz. They're both coming back on 3-year deals. Cardinals are an interesting one, Tyler. Obviously, they made the playoffs last year. I mean, there's a lot of speculation about, Kyler Murray, how well he's playing, if he's the right fit in there. But, I mean, one thing that's a good sign, Russell Wilson left the division. So, I mean, they got to be trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing I would say that is kind of scary. I know I was getting hate in the group chat for Christian Kirk, but losing Christian Kirk, I feel like hurts them a little bit offensively. He was a great slot receiver for Kyler Murray. Also, on the inverse side of that, defensively, they lost Zach Allen, their right end, correct? He didn't re-sign with them.
I don't believe so.
And then they also lost Hassan Riddick, a linebacker. So defensively, they really have a lot of pieces that they need to fill. Offensively, I mean, again, it's going to be the same thing, and keeping those guys healthy. I think really their main focus at this point is to really just secure Kyler Murray and get an offensive line that can protect him, because right now they have nothing for the guy besides Rodney Hudson, former Raider great.
Yeah, I think they're kind of lacking on the defensive side of the ball as well, excuse me, I should say. I mean, a lot of those games they were winning, and on that win stretch when they were the top team in the NFC, they were shootout games, and Kyler can't be out there making magic happen every single possession. So I feel like that's another area they need to improve on. Atlanta Falcons haven't signed anybody yet. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on with Calvin Ridley, suspended for the whole 2022 NFL season for I guess we'll say illegally, within terms of the NFL gambling. We kind of touched on it. I think something that we didn't touch on, though, was news came out where, who is it, the Eagles, they were in talks with trading him.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I guess we'll say like class act move on the Atlanta Falcons, knowing there was going to be a suspension incoming. However, if that's me, it's a fucking business. I mean, Tyler, when we were playing Monopoly the other night, when you accidentally gave Brendan $500 instead of requesting it from him, he accepted it. And
Yeah.
I can't say like if I was in that position, a guy
Also,
that was
Austin nor Brian decided to tell me that I was doing it the wrong way.
Oh no, it was hilarious. So I told Brendan to accept it as well.
Karma. You
Yeah.
finished in third, I finished in second.
Yeah. Oh well, if you're not first, you're last. But, class act move on their part. Probably if I knew I could have gotten something for a guy that wouldn't have played the whole next season, I definitely would have tried to move him. We'll see what happens with that. Baltimore Ravens haven't signed anybody. Buffalo Bills, a few signings. They got a offensive guard from the Titans, Roger Saffold.
Pretty solid deal.
Yeah, 1 year. I didn't see, it doesn't have the money next to it.
I think they were replacing John Feliciano too, because they had lost him. So I would say that's an upgrade in terms of what they're doing, and they need all the support that they could get offensively.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Saffold, but I do know the Titans have had a solid offensive line. Obviously we know the run attack of Derrick Henry, and I think you could probably credit the success that Tannehill had back there to the offensive line as well. Saran Neal, cornerback, and then a tackle from the Commies, the Commanders, Tim Settle, signed a 2-year deal. Nothing too sexy there, Tyler, but, the Bills, they're in a good position.
They got the grit and grinders. They got the guys
Yeah,
that are gonna be good role players. You know.
they got the guys that are willing to play in Buffalo in December. That's
they
pretty much
got
what it comes down to.
they got the Buffalo income tax influx.
Yeah.
So it's like they add like 2% onto your paycheck during the months of like October through January and February.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we'll include your heat bill for the winter months
We'll
in your
also provide you
contract.
with firewood
Yeah, that should be part of the incentive.
and
Panthers,
unlimited tables.
yeah, right. That should be automatic for anyone going to Buffalo.
I feel like
Panthers,
real quick, I
yeah,
also feel like the Bills, if a player signs with them, they at that signing meeting, they should have the player jump through a table.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you'd want someone you just paid a lot of money to come play
Just
for,
like
potentially injure themselves, but
spread out their old jersey and just
hmm
like jump on a 10-foot ladder and just like elbow it.
yeah, just like WWE style, maybe light the jersey on fire.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. Panthers signed back Zane Gonzalez on a 2-year deal. They also pick up safety Xavier Woods. That's a good signing. Panthers are kind of, I don't know. It's interesting division. Obviously, with Brady back, they should, Bucks should pretty much own it. But it's like, what's going on with the Saints? What's going on with the Falcons? The Panthers, if they can make some moves this offseason, they might be in that number 2 spot, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean they're saying that they're trying to move Christian McCaffrey. I think they could get some good trade
Hmm.
value for him. Obviously, he's injury ridden, but you could get a lot of draft picks. You could probably even get some veteran players for him that could really fill in your either defensive side or offensive side. I mean, Fournette's still out there. Saquon Barkley's on the move. So there's a lot of guys that could replace McCaffrey, but it's
Hmm.
all about getting value, and especially for a guy that's been hindered with injuries, it's always tough.
Yeah. Also, Deshaun Watson, found not guilty on all the charges, and Carolina has been, at the forefront of talks of landing spots for him. So we'll see what happens.
He would look so good in silver and blue.
Didn't I call that like last offseason? Didn't I
I think
say?
we both called it actually because both the teams that he talked with, you said Panthers and I said Saints.
Okay, well,
Remember that?
yeah. Well,
Roll
so
back the video
I thought you meant
footage.
we both called Carolina, but I definitely said
No, you said
Panthers.
Carolina and I said
Yeah.
the Saints.
Right. So they're both still in the running, so we'll see what happens. But I
Are
know
we
he's
insider journalists? Probably.
potentially. We knew this was all going to shape up like this. We'd have another year, and Breeze would retire, and Panthers would be shit. So
Yeah.
we have a crystal ball. Chicago Bears. They got back a defensive tackle. I don't even want to pronounce this, Tyler. I'm going to try it. Larry Ogunjobi. Actually, it wasn't bad. I think that might be it. Ogunjobi. 3 years, 40.5 million. Excuse me. Cincinnati Bengals, coming off that Super Bowl appearance, they're showing no sign of rest. Buccaneers offensive guard Alex Kappa, Patriots center Ted Karras, defensive tackle BJ Hill signed back, and then they're putting Jesse Bates on the franchise tag. So Tyler,
I love those moves for the Bengals.
I mean, we're very critical. We said one of the most, the biggest spots where they're lacking talent was that offensive line. They bring in a couple of veteran guys on a three
Those
and a
those
4 year
signings were
deal.
those signings were big too.
Yeah,
I really like the who is the other guy? Not Karras, but
Ted. Oh, Alex Kappa from the
Alex
Bucks.
Kappa. Yeah, from the Bucks. I mean, he's probably the best guard in the NFL. In Madden rating wise,
Okay.
maybe, possibly. I might be thinking Valley Marpet, but I love Kappa. I
I have
think
no
he's
idea.
a really good guy. He's a team leader. He's played for a Super Bowl champion. On the other side of the spectrum, you got Karras, who's a center playing for Bill Belichick. I think it only helps their team even more. Joe Burrow's going to feel a lot more secure back there, not having to, run around, hopefully not tearing his ACL. So
Hey,
I love those signings.
yeah, I mean, in addition to their talent, Tyler, two guys, I don't know how long Karras was in New England, but one guy who just got done playing with Tom Brady. Karras just got done playing with Belichick, and maybe if he was with Brady for a little bit. So to bring that kind of experience into the young locker room of the Cincinnati Bengals, helping out Joe Burrow, I think those are great signings right there. A little bit more of a sexy acquisition, excuse me, I should say. Cleveland Browns, they bring in Amari Cooper from the Cowboys. They franchise tag David Njoku. They get Taven Bryan from the Jags. Obviously, Tyler Cooper, interesting move, especially now that we find out the Browns have released Jarvis Landry. So it's like you got Cooper, you got who? Peoples-Jones. Njoku is an interesting one for me, Tyler, because he's been at the forefront of a lot of trade talks for the Browns over the past few years. Hasn't really done much, I feel like, as far as stats go. But, obviously they've seen enough in him to bring him back with that franchise tag.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this pre-show. I don't really understand why the Cowboys got rid of Cooper, and we kind of came up with the conclusion that maybe it was something in terms of he was too similar to CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup was more of a deep threat, so they ended up getting rid of Cooper, probably because you said he wanted more money. But I mean, I think this is a giant upgrade for the Browns, although I don't see how Cooper is going to be much more of an impact than, an OBJ or Jarvis Landry. I think they need to start looking at the core problem that they're having, and that's maybe a more consistent quarterback, one that's not going to be injured as much, or one that is more talented at the end of the day. So, you could bring in all these names and interchange them and everything, and I kind of feel bad for Cooper. I don't think he's going to be that great in Cleveland. Don't get me wrong, he might be, but I think they need to look elsewhere to bring in talent. Because Jarvis Landry is no joke. And neither is OBJ. I mean, we saw OBJ come out, practically win the Rams the Super Bowl, brought him to the Super Bowl, really brought back the old OBJ. And now they're bringing in a guy who was in Dallas, who was really good, played for the Raiders, really good. And I don't think he's going to be that talented in Cleveland.
The only thing I'll say for that is, he is a little bit more of a possession type receiver, which I feel like Baker definitely needs. He's better one-on-one, I'd say, than OBJ at this point in their respective careers. And you think of Cooper as like a veteran. He's only 27 years old, Tyler, so he's got some more time to play in the NFL. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Obviously, they need to bring in someone else with Landry leaving. You can't just have Cooper and whoever else behind him, Njoku, Peoples-Jones. You're going to need some more weapons for Baker if he is going to remain your guy. And speaking of the Cowboys and Michael Gallup, Gallup signs 5 years, $62.5 million. They franchise tagged Dalton Schultz, and they re-signed DeMarcus Lawrence, 3 years, $40 million. Pretty, as expected stuff from the Cowboys other than, the Cooper deal. I like Michael Gallup. I think he's solid. I don't know that I've seen enough, at this point in his career to give him that kind of contract. He played decent, like you said earlier, Tyler, coming off of that injury. He has been, injury prone for the most part. I think he had a shoulder injury. He had the ACL. So to invest that kind of money in a guy that really hasn't shown you too much, it's kind of interesting to me.
I think he's a great receiver. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I had him on fantasy this year and in a few of our leagues, and he's definitely a impact player when he's on the field. And I think he's a great target for Dak Prescott outside of Dalton Schultz and CeeDee Lamb being that big receiver. I worry, maybe that's why they didn't pay him as much as like a Christian Kirk or, an Amari Cooper or Mike Williams. And they kind of gave him a little bit less than value because of his injuries. But I'll give this signing, I think it's a B+. I think it's a smart move when you think about it. As I said, a bigger receiver going across from CeeDee Lamb, I think it only benefits the Cowboys. And I like the Dexter Lawrence signing, although they did get rid of La'el Collins, and I hope he's in silver and black next season.
You're just trying to recruit anyone who's willing to play in Las Vegas. Moving on to a divisional foe of the Las Vegas Raiders, Denver Broncos. Obviously, huge news bringing in Russell Wilson on the trade. I think we talked about that last week, right? We probably don't need to get into it too much.
I don't know. I think it happened after. I don't remember.
Did it? I mean, anyways, good move for the Broncos. I know for whatever reason that was a highly touted landing spot for a lot of guys. You know, they're talking about it for Rodgers and what's his face? Having a brain fart.
Who's he play for?
Texans.
Oh, Deshaun?
Watson, yeah, thank you. I mean, I don't know. I guess they're seeing like what the front office does and what they did with Peyton late in his career. You know, Elway obviously. I don't know. Maybe he knows something we don't. He's giving him some kind of incentives behind the scenes. They also bring in Ben Braden from the Packers. Didn't know who the fuck he was, so obviously we're not gonna miss him too much. And DJ Jones from the Niners, you know, decent defensive tackle. I mean, Tyler, you know, we'll get into the other signings of other teams in your division, but what's your reaction? You already had Mahomes twice a year. You know, you already had Herbert, who just keeps getting better and better. Now you got Russell twice a year. I mean, what are you thinking right now as a Raiders fan?
I'm thinking that I'm glad that we re-signed Max Crosby to a huge extension. Get to the quarterback. Let's try and twist their ankles down at the dog pile. It's just it's been a bad few weeks to be a Raiders fan. Obviously, adding Russell Wilson to the mix sucks because he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He knows how to win. He is a grit and grind kind of guy that's not going to stop until the clock strikes zero. So he's got good weapons. I mean, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick. Oh yeah, Jerry Jeudy. He's got 3 great receivers in the Broncos. It's not like he doesn't have a lot. And also, Austin's favorite running back in the world, Javonte Williams, is in the backfield. I mean, so it's going to be scary. And now they're saying Von Miller could potentially be back there. They have good young talents at the cornerback and secondary position. So, this Broncos team, just by adding Russell Wilson, could easily finish, 3rd or 2nd in the division, or even 1st. I mean, you can't count them out to winning 1st because the Chiefs, they are losing a lot of guys. But, I mean, they still have a lot of guys, but they're losing a lot of their talent too.
Yeah, I might bump them up ahead of the Chargers. I still think the Chiefs are the main team to beat in that division. I don't think, like I said, I don't think this makes the Broncos an instant Super Bowl contender.
I would honestly say Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos can easily be interchangeable at any point during the season.
Yeah, I mean,
the Chiefs started late this season. The Chargers are adding everybody and their mother,
and none of those other teams, the Chargers or the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl though. So there's a lot of competition in the AFC now.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. Like they're facing each other twice a year already. Those 3 teams, plus throw the Raiders in there. They may take a game in Vegas one time or 2 times next season, but we'll see. But the Chiefs, I mean, they started slow this season. The Chargers, they ended slow this season. The Broncos, they were just like hit or miss. So I think it could be interchangeable 1 through 3.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see. Like you said, Miller might go back. They got Surtain, who's looking good in his, first year. And then, Russ might
Justin Simons they got.
Yeah, Russ might recruit Bobby Wagner. You never know.
That would be.
That'd be pretty nutty.
I'd be sad.
Next team, Detroit Lions. Not much here. Tim Boyle, great signing. Tyler, Josh Reynolds, Tracy Walker, C.J. Moore. I mean, the Lions are just gonna Lions, I guess.
And Zaloni, don't forget him.
Nah, I already forgot him. So too late for
He's
that.
got luscious blonde hair.
That's about probably his best claim to fame, and he's an NFL player. So
yeah.
Packers, we already talked about them. Texans, they showed some fight, some grit this past season, Tyler, with not knowing who was going to play quarterback on a weekly basis. They're bringing Chris Conley back. Another great name, I'm going to butcher, Cedric Ogbuhi. Um, Christian Kirksey, and then Terrence Brooks. Not much there, if you care to talk about that at all. Colts.
They did. Speaking of the Colts, I don't know if you saw, but they did deny the Colts any talks with Deshaun Watson, which I thought was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, because they're in the same division.
Yes.
I guess if you can do that, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
don't want to see him back there twice a year. Colts. So they signed Mo Alley Cox back. Obviously, they lost Carson Wentz. Who, did they sign a quarterback?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Right now, who is it? The guy from Texas, the backup.
Like the college Texas?
Yeah.
Ehrlich?
No.
Ehrlicher?
Is his name Sam?
Sam Erlinger.
Erlinger. Yeah. So that he's quarterback one right now for the Colts. That's kind of scary. I haven't really seen him out there much. Moving on to a team that has been very active, Tyler, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Loading up!
They're loading up right now. I mean, I guess they saw enough from Trevor Lawrence and they said, hey, we're going to try to give this guy some weapons around him. Like we mentioned earlier, they bring in Christian Kirk, 4 years, $84 million. We'll see if it pays off. Tackle Cam Robinson, they franchise tagged him. They got Brandon Scherf from the Commanders. Tyler Shatley, great name there. Offensive guard. Doli Fatukasi, Jets defensive tackle. They got Foy Olukun from the Falcons.
Signing.
That was a big one right there. Evan Ingram from the Giants. I like that one. And Zay Jones from the Raiders, Tyler.
Wow, damn. I mean, they really were active. I love the Sheriff signing. He's a huge offensive lineman. That's a big veteran guy that's going to help Trevor Lawrence out. And then on the opposite side of the ball with Josh Allen, the black one, not the quarterback, but Foy Olajuwon. We'll just say Foy.
Oluokun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolute menace to society on defense, leading tackler for Atlanta Falcons last season. I thought great signing. I would have loved to see him in silver and black, but we lost a guy in silver.
You'd
and
love
black.
to see fucking Dan Marino in silver and black. This guy.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Zay Jones. He was a big player for us last year.
Good year, yeah. Some good possessions.
It was funny. It's like Derek Carr has these guys, Austin. This is the second year in a row. I fall in love with them. I started liking them a lot. Last year was Nelson Aguilar. He absolutely had a phenomenal year with the Raiders back in 2021 or 2020, and signs with the Patriots, does nothing. Zay Jones, phenomenal year, won us a few games, game-winning touchdowns, goes to the Jaguars, probably will do nothing. So it sucks to see. It's sad, but I think the Jags are going to be a fun team to watch. Trevor Lawrence, second year. It's only looking up without Urban Meyer.
Yeah, they got some depth now. They still got Laviska. I think they have Laquan Treadwell, right? Who was playing decent minutes.
They got James Robinson and also Trevor Etienne, the backfield. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess they're not in the best division, right? The Titans and Colts both decent last year. The Texans would probably still regress.
You don't even know who the Colts quarterback is.
Yeah, so I don't know. Could make it interesting.
Jaguars are the second best team in the AFC South right now.
You think so?
I mean, until I find out who the Colts quarterback is, I would say so.
I think the Colts team is still better with Ellinger.
Really?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I
would take that bet. I would take the Jaguars over the Colts.
Just pull a Belichick and run the ball fucking 100 times a game, and
that is scary hours with what's his face back there,
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's incredible. Kansas City Chiefs. They franchise tag Orlando Brown. They bring in Justin Reed, pretty solid safety from the Texans. You
can only franchise tag one person, right?
Correct.
Per team, okay.
Yep. So they used it up on the tackle. Solid.
Smart move.
Yeah. Safe move. Like I said, Justin Reed, he'll go back there with the Honey Badger. Tyler's other favorite team, the Raiders, if you want to get into them. haven't really made too many signings other than one, which you can talk about, Tyler.
Yeah, re-signing Max Crosby, absolutely huge for us. Um, get the man paid; he deserves it. Also signed on his second year of being sober, which was an anniversary for him. Now it's even more special. Cashing in, I think, on like an $85 million contract or something like that, 53 mil guaranteed.
God's
Um,
plan.
yeah, I mean, honestly, there's no better guy that should have got signed and paid for the Raiders. He was an absolute menace to society on the opposite side of the ball, the Condor. You don't want to mess with that guy. I mean, he's the white mamba. He's the big white mamba. He's the great white hope. He's my only hope this season for the Raiders. And I'm happy to have him back. And I think we still got what's his face on the other side of the ball, Yannick Ngayu. So we'll see how it plans out. I mean, there's
Yeah,
still a lot.
no, I
There's
mean,
still a lot of days left in free
yeah.
agency.
I mean, definitely a solid move. Crosby, he's a great, pass rusher. It makes sense for the Raiders to bring them back. Tyler, hopping over to another divisional rival who've been quite active, I will say. Los Angeles Chargers re-signed Mike Williams. When healthy, proven that he's one of the best receivers in the league. I'll save the best for last. They get a defensive tackle from the Rams, Sebastian Joseph Day. Corner.
Decent signing.
Yep. Corner J.C. Jackson from the Patriots. And the big one via trade, Khalil Mack. So not only do you get Russ and Mahomes twice a year, you get Herbert, and on the other side of the ball, you get Khalil Mack twice a year.
Oh, and Joey Bosa. Don't forget that one.
Well, yeah, but you already knew that. Now you got
but
the twin pillars, right?
yeah.
The crown and the faith. Little Game of Thrones reference for my Game of Thrones fans out there, but
So not only do you get your 2 seconds to throw the ball with Bosa and Mack, but you also have to throw into probably one of the best cornerbacks in the league, J.C. Jackson, the most underrated cornerback. I think that's so far the best signing I've seen is J.C. Jackson. I thought the team that got him was going to really up their chances. And, that's exactly what it was for the Chargers at the end of the day, especially against the Raiders. They didn't have a cornerback that they could trust. They had a lot of young guys back there, and this is really going to solidify their team. I mean, this Chargers team is very scary. Like I said, 1 through 3, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs could be interchangeable, but the more you talk about the Chargers, the more exciting they become.
Yeah.
They have Eckler back this season.
Derwin James over on the defensive side,
finally healthy. Keenan Allen, if he stays healthy, I mean, this is a team that could easily go to the Super Bowl, no problems.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is probably the best division. I won't say ever, but definitely in recent memory. And obviously, the Raiders just kind of get thrown into that conversation by default.
It's like back when the Bears, the Vikings, and the Packers were all really good, and then there was just the Lions that you guys used to beat up on.
The Lions have always been the Lions. That's going to be one of those teams. It'll probably happen at some point in our lifetimes, where the Lions are actually good. Stafford had a few years, but I mean, like the Browns, like right, they've been bad for so many years. Now they're decent, making the playoffs, AFC Championship game.
Do you think the Lions will ever win in our lifetime?
A Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I think the safe bet would say no. I mean, odds are. I mean, I don't know that.
I think I would bet my life on that.
I wouldn't bet my life on it. I don't know if I'm that confident, but I feel like I'd put them and the Bears. Maybe the Steelers, although the Steelers have been successful of just like the ownership. You know what I'm saying? Until you get new ownership or the next generation of whatever wealthy family owns a team comes in and actually decides to do something positive. They've just been bad for so long. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Next team, Los Angeles Rams. Not much to talk about yet. They bring back 2 offensive linemen, Joe Noteboom. It's a funny name, and then Brian Allen, their center. Obviously, a lot of question marks going on with Stafford, OBJ, Von Miller, a bunch of those guys they brought in will remain to be seen. Another team, Tyler, that has been pretty active Miami Dolphins, they bring in Teddy Bridgewater, Chase Edmonds on a 2-year deal, Cedric Wilson, and they franchise tag former Penn State great Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, I mean that was a huge franchise tag for the Dolphins. Gesicki was, I mean, I wouldn't say huge because I had him in fantasy, and every time I had him, he just absolutely shit on me. But I would like to think Gesicki is a very good, talented tight end. When
Yeah.
Tua is healthy, and I felt like anytime Tua was playing, Gesicki was playing well. Chase Edmonds, that's a huge signing, I think, for the Dolphins. They had such a question mark in the backfield
Mm-hmm.
this past season, and then Bridgewater to help out with Tua.
Now, do
That's
you
going to be
think he's
huge for
there
his
to?
development.
You think he's there to help out or give some competition?
I think a little bit of both. I think it's probably going to be ended up more towards helping out. I mean, we kind of saw the Bridgewater, this year that everybody's realizing this is it for Bridgewater. Like he'll probably never be a starting quarterback ever again unless, given the opportunity of someone getting hurt, but I don't think he's there to be the starter. It's all Tua.
Yeah. No, Tua showed some flashes there later on the season. I mean, they went on an 8-game win streak, so definitely showed some signs of promise there. Not much from the Vikings. They get Harrison Phillips from the Bills. Patriots, they signed back Brian Hoyer, Devin McCourty, Matthew Slater, and James Ferentz.
I will say, Austin, it's not an NFL offseason free agency unless Brian Hoyer gets signed by the Patriots.
Right. I mean, I don't know if this guy is like the godfather of one of Belichick's kids or something, but this guy, he loves him for some reason.
I think they signed Hoyer as like a write-off for their taxes.
Yeah.
Like they just feel bad for the guy. It's like Tim Boyle to the Lions.
Right.
Like why sign the guy? He is god awful.
There's got to be a better option you bring in for cheaper,
Colin Kaepernick for one. I
Yeah.
mean,
Honestly, seriously. Saints, nothing there yet. Still looking to see what they're gonna do for a quarterback this next season. Giants, they bring in 2 offensive linemen, Mark Glowinski from the Colts and Joe Feliciano from the Bills. Obviously, like you said earlier, Tyler, Saquon Barkley seems to be on the trade market. See what happens with him. The Jets, they bring back Braxton Berrios. I thought, like, I don't know. I don't know if he like thinks the Jets are going to do something. I thought he could have earned a little bit more than 2 years, $12 million. Maybe not solely on his wide receiver skills, but he went to the Pro Bowl as a returner, right?
yes.
So that's a team like the Packers, like who have been so bad in special teams. I feel like they probably could have paid him a little bit more money there to do receiver and special teams. An offensive guard from the Niners, Laken Tomlinson. Interesting. You don't see too many Lakens on a male. Bengals tight end, they bring in CJ Uzoma. So Burrow will have to find a new weapon at that position. They bring back running back Tevin Coleman and safety LaMarcus Joyner.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets, I feel like I don't even know who I like out of this bunch of people that they signed. I think Tomlinson is my favorite just because they needed a offensive lineman really bad. I don't love Uzuma. He probably almost lost his leg last season in the offseason or in the postseason.
Wasn't like Ryan Griffin playing pretty well for them too?
Yeah. Berrios, I mean, he had 2 games last season that he was decent on offense. I mean, I give him a C minus. There was definitely better guys out there, but who wants to play for the Jets at the end of the day?
Yeah, not many. Much like Buffalo, you got to give them some kind of under the table incentive to come play there. Philadelphia Eagles, big move they made. Hassan Reddick, they bring him in 3 years, $45 million. They were a playoff team, right?
Yeah, they lost to the Bucks. I was at that game.
Right. Yeah, so playoff team. See what happens with the quarterback position. I think they're moving forward with Jalen Hurts. He's got some weapons. They got Devontae Smith, Rager, who played decent at times. They still have Goddard, but this helps Tyler because a lot of the games they won, much like who was it? I was saying the Cardinals. They were kind of in shootouts. I feel like the Eagles were in shootouts. This helps, on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I mean they also got Jason Kelsey back. I mean that was huge, getting your center back. I think they're decent. If they get some good draft capital, I guess you could say, in terms of offensive linemen, or also, secondary could help a lot. I feel like they have good pass rushers, Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett. Now you add Hassan Riddick. So it's going to be scary for a lot of the NFC East quarterbacks, I would say, when you face the Eagles.
Yeah, no, definitely. That division, pretty winnable. Cowboys probably still the favorites. But you get the Giants and the Commanders. Gotta condition myself to say that, Tyler. How long did it take us to start calling them the Washington football team? Now we gotta switch it up again to the Commanders.
It was always the R words.
Yeah. So moving on, Steelers. Big move they made. They bring in Mitchell Trubisky on a 2-year deal. They also signed Miles Kilbrew, safety, and Chuck Wuma, Okoro for offensive tackle. Sorry for butchering your name, but interesting move here, Tyler. I know we talked about it. I forget whether it was like after the Super Bowl or last season. Not a lot of quarterbacks in the market for this, free agency, if you will. Obviously, the Wilson deal was a trade, but Mitch Trubisky, he didn't do terrible with the Bears. I think he had a winning record overall. At least under Nagy, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't really get to do much in Buffalo. We'll see what happens. I'm assuming that they brought him in to be QB1. They have some weapons, right? They have Claypool. They have Deontay Johnson. Looks like Juju's going to walk. They obviously have Najee Harris and then Watt on the other side of the ball. I don't hate this. I don't love Mitch Trubisky, but I think they were kind of out of options. And, maybe under Tomlin and with these weapons, I think he might be able to do decent.
I don't hate it either. I mean, like I've been saying, if I was a quarterback in the NFL, the one team I would highly consider is the Steelers, given how good their defense is. I do think Trubisky could be a decent quarterback. We saw him in Chicago with half the weapons that he now has in the Steelers. So, I think the Steel City could possibly be a new safe haven for Trubisky. Trubisky, if you're ever hungry, Permane Bros has an awesome pastrami sandwich. Highly recommend it. It might help with your vision, your strength, your running down the fields or running to the bathroom.
Yeah, you need some prosciutto to help your energy if you're ever in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. No,
Wait,
pastrami.
Pastrami. What did I say?
Yeah.
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto. That's a meat too, right?
Yeah, but that's more like Sopranos, yeah.
Yeah, okay, pastrami.
If he was playing for the Giants or the Jets, yeah, get some prosciutto, but we're in Steel City, get some pastrami with the egg on top.
Pastrami from Permane Bros. And some uninteresting news, 49ers bring back Nate Suffield on a 1-year deal. Seattle Seahawks, obviously, most of their acquisitions coming via trade from the Broncos. They get Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris. They re-signed Sidney Jones, Quandre Diggs, and Will Dillesley. So I guess the main question mark, Tyler, who's going to play quarterback? Is it Drew Lock? Did they see something that everyone else in the world doesn't? Are they going to try to rebuild, I guess? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think honestly they're going to draft a quarterback. I think that's kind of the route that they're going for, getting 2 first-round draft picks, right?
Not a lot of quarterbacks. I don't know,
yeah,
but not a lot of quarterbacks in the draft.
There's some that you could go after. I think, if you're trying to go for that Russell Wilson-esque quarterback, Malik Willis out of Liberty is a good option for you. Or my favorite, Kenny Pickett. I still think he's probably one of the better ones out of the draft. Quarterback-wise out of Pittsburgh. I like him a lot. But, if you're not going that route, if I'm Pete Carroll, I'm just gonna go say deuces. This was enough. I'm good. I don't really feel like coaching a team that's gonna be absolute dog shit next season. So just take my losses and just
Yeah,
move on.
might as well. Yeah, no, I agree with
Trade
you.
baby DK to the Raiders, and we'll all be good.
He's already used to wearing some kind of green. Might have to go over to to the green and
They
gold.
can't afford them.
No, definitely not. Unfortunately, I would fucking cream my pants so fast if the Packers had Devontae and DK.
Only
Oh my
imagine.
God, wouldn't be enough tissues in the world for me. We talked about earlier Bucks, Brady unretired, franchise tag Chris Godwin. They also re-signed Ryan Jensen and Carlton Davis. Any? Oh,
You there?
you there? All right, little
I'm here.
disconnect.
I'm
All right,
here.
all right. I don't know if you heard me, but I said the Bucks we talked about earlier brought back, or excuse
Yep.
me, Brady brought himself back from retirement. Franchise tagged Chris Godwin, and then they bring back Ryan Jensen and Carlton Davis. Anything to
Love
speak
it.
on there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said before, Fournette, Gronk, what's going on with them? They have a great young defense and they have a lot of great offensive weapons. I honestly don't think they're gonna really do much more besides in the draft this offseason. So it'll definitely be interesting. But it's funny, the Bucks. A lot of the down here in the media, the Bucks were without a hope. They're not making it to the Super Bowl, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're going back to the Super Bowl one more time. Let's go.
All or nothing. Yeah, no, we'll see. I mean, Bucks, I'm sure they still have something up their sleeve if I know them. I'm sure they'll make some more moves. Tennessee Titans, they bring in tackle Jamarco Jones from the Seahawks, re-sign Ben Jones, the Jones brothers on the offensive line, and they bring back Harold Landry. 5 years, $87.5 million, Tyler. That's a pretty girthy deal if you ask me.
I like the Harold Landry signing, though. I think he's a great defensive player. Um, I think that the Titans have a lot though that they're gonna have to replace. Obviously, losing Saffold is gonna be big, but I'm not a big Titans guy. I mean, they're just not sexy enough for me. They got King Henry, and that's about it, and they feel content with that. Like, where are you going with Julio Jones? Is he coming back? Do you really want him back? You have AJ Brown, who's a fucking beast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe surround him with someone that can compete with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, defensively, they could be better,
yeah,
but
for sure. There's definitely some holes there that they need to address. And last but not least, the Washington Commanders, Tyler, they bring in Carson Wentz via trade. I don't know what to make of this. Obviously, they had Heineke last year who played decent. I think they still have Patrick or Fitzpatrick rather. But Tyler, if I could pick any team for Carson Wentz to play for where he would just look best in their uniforms, it would be the Washington Commanders. I mean, that like shade of poop brown, I feel like just complements his red hair perfectly. I think this is a great fit for him.
I'm actually kind of scared how many times Wentz could possibly get injured this season playing at FedEx Field.
Hmm.
I'm devastated for him. I mean, I'll be anxious the whole entire time watching him that he's gonna twist an ankle, tear an ACL, pop his whatever out. So Terry McLaurin's up for an extension this season. I mean, that's like the only signing that they really should care about in Washington. I mean, they have a great running back. I mean, the only thing that I really think they could have added was a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, but here
Yeah,
they are, stuck between a rock and a hard place. I,
as
I
they
do
so often are.
I do have I want to ask you some questions real quick. Watson, who do you think he goes to?
I'm gonna. I
Gonna
mean,
stay on the Panthers train?
yeah, I think I'm so far gone on that I've fully committed, so I'll stick with that.
Does Von Miller go back to the Broncos?
Yes,
Do they bring Bobby Wagner?
yes.
Okay, damn it. And last but not least, where do you think Jarvis Landry is heading?
Green Bay.
Fuck you.
A guy can hope, can he? We got Purple Cat and Mobile. Thanks for the follow. How's your day going? My day's going well. How about you? We got the man goddamn your boy Yo Soy. We just wrapped up the NFL football news, which was a lot of it. Tyler, we just went an hour on that. Now we're switching gears. We're going to go into March Madness, Tyler. The first and only, I guess, we only really do one, No Look Podcast March Madness bracket. So
when does the first game start?
The first 4 is tomorrow.
Oh, shit. So we definitely got to do this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Should have cracked open a fucking Red Bull.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Why are you getting tired? It is late over there, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well,
it's all good. Let's run through it.
We can speed run it. We don't have to go crazy on it. Share the screen.
This is women's, dog.
Ah? Oh,
this is
fuck.
women's.
ESPN, you duped me.
I saw South Carolina got #1. I'm like, wait a second.
That ain't right. Here we go. This makes a little more sense. We'll get to the women's maybe next week. Oh wait, that'll be too late. Sorry. Purple Mobile, you're good. All right, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by, dropping the follow. Like I said, we're switching gears. We're getting into our March Madness bracket. Tyler, let's start in the West. I think last year and last 2 years we've done this. We usually do the first round, correct, and then we'll move back into the round of 32 and then so on. So first game, we got Gonzaga, Georgia State. For me, it's going to be easy. Chet Holmgren, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's going to dominate this one. There's no one on the floor that can guard him for Georgia State. It's going to be all Zags.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Easy money.
This is an interesting one, Tyler. The 8 versus 9 matchup always stumps me. I think I got to go with a team that plays in a better division and has a more interesting coach in Penny Hardaway, or Afernay Hardaway, I should say, in Memphis.
I don't love Memphis. I actually kind of want to go Boise State.
All right. Well, we can go to the coin flip. Doesn't take long for that one. Second matchup. Heads Memphis, tails Boise State. You okay with that?
Well, technically, shouldn't it be heads Boise State, tails Memphis?
Heads Boise State, tails Memphis. He gets his way. It's gonna be heads too. Yep. Boise State. Moving on. Next matchup, number 5, UConn Huskies playing the 12 New Mexico State. Tyler, I don't love the 5 versus 12 matchup. Obviously, that's like the #1 upset matchup, I feel like. However, UConn's got a solid team. I don't think, they have the guy like a Kemba or Shabazz to make a title run. They have RJ Cole, Adama Sanogo, and they still got guys like Isaiah Whaley and I forget who else I was going to say. But anyways, I'm picking them over New Mexico State. And if you put this to a coin flip,
Bring it to a coin.
No, I'm not allowing it.
Bring it to a coin.
No, I'm not allowing it.
I want New Mexico State.
No, you don't. Fuck you.
Yes, I do. Why not?
You fucking asshole. I hate you so much. Heads UConn, tails
New
Mexico
State.
Thank the fucking Lord. I would have thrown a goddamn tantrum if it had landed on tails there. You're a piece of shit. You know what?
I wanted New Mexico State.
Okay, you know what you get then? I'm coin flipping UConn versus whoever the rest of the fucking bracket, and I hope they make it to the Final Four, you fucking asshole. You brought this on yourself. Oh, my
okay.
God. Next one. This is interesting. Arkansas versus Vermont. I don't know.
How did Vermont get a 13 seed?
They won the tournament. They actually had a solid year. They got a couple of scores. I don't like them enough to go over Arkansas, though. I'll go with the Razorbacks, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on that one. Arkansas, they're a very interesting team to watch. They got a lot of scores, and they're very good defensively.
Yeah. Now they got they again playing in the SEC, better division than Vermont. Did they play in the Patroon League? They play UAlbany. What?
The Patroon League? That's the high school basketball.
Oh, holy shit. What the fuck is the UAlbany? That's not Patroon?
No, it's fuck, I forget what it's called. Look it up.
UAlbany.
basketball.
You Albany League of Legends. Uh, the MAC?
Yeah, the America East. That's right.
Wait. Oh.
Well,
Oh, well, the
women's golf.
women's. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't think they were in the MAC. That's Siena and stuff. Okay, not the Patroon League. We're taking it back here to Section 2 high school basketball. Crack a Jack in the chat. Roger staying with the Packers. What the fuck is Brady doing? Hey, I'm right here with you, man. Are you a Packers fan? If either way, I'm happy you're in support of Rodgers in the pack. Brady's greedy, nothing to prove. Yeah, I don't understand the Brady coming back. He's just addicted. Clearly, he's got a problem. He needs to seek help.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Fuck my hot, sexy wife that would give me mouth sex. But dude would rather get fucking slammed to the ground by a 300-pound defensive lineman, I guess. Something's wrong. That's addiction, if you ask me. Next matchup, Alabama versus Rutgers, Notre Dame playing game. I don't know. I'd have to go Bama. I think they've been more consistent. Something intrigues me about Notre Dame if they win the play-in, but we don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah, give me Alabama. I mean, I like them. I think Avery Johnson's still their head coach, right? I mean, former net great.
Last I knew, yeah. Next matchup, Texas Tech. I gotta put the Red Raiders through.
Same.
Michigan State Davidson. This is an interesting one. You know, Michigan State's been up and down all year long. However, I'm gonna favor inside of Michigan State because Coach K's last run. I think we need one more Coach K versus Coach Izzo matchup.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. On both of them, actually. So.
Okay. Duke versus Cal State Fullerton. Not much to see here. Fullerton does have a good star player leading the pack. However, Duke just too well rounded. I think they blow them guys away. Blow them away. See ya.
Blow them away on.
See ya. Good luck finding your dad.
Bye, buddy.
Bye, buddy. Little elf reference. Again, 1 versus 16. I got Baylor all day. I'm assuming Tyler agrees.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting for the confirmation.
Nope. Love it.
8 versus 9 here, Tyler. North Carolina versus Marquette. I'm going to go with the Tar Heels coming off a big win against Coach K and the Blue Devils in their last matchup.
Yeah, I like Carolina in this one. Honestly, I haven't seen too much of Marquette this season. And honestly, I haven't seen a lot from them since Dwayne Wade left there. So,
yeah,
who knows?
I mean, the team has been decent. I don't know that they've produced any, notable guys in the NBA.
Jay Crowder, that's really about it.
Yeah. Crack a Jack is 6 miles out of Green Bay, bleed green gold. Oh, damn, bro. You got season tickets? Might see you at a game this season. Jeff and I are trying to make our 4th trip to Lambeau. St. Mary's versus Wyoming.
Indiana.
Whew. That's an interesting one, Tyler. I'm almost feeling an upset here. I like both Wyoming and Indiana.
I'll take it on with you if you want to go upset.
I do. I really do. I haven't seen enough of St. Mary's.
You have a better shot with 2 teams rather than 1.
Right, variable change, right? It's not going to be one, so you pick the other, and I think that makes some sense there. Next game, UCLA versus Akron. UCLA's been solid. I feel like throughout this season, I like them in this game.
I do too. I agree.
Texas.
I love Mick Cronin. He's such a gritty guy.
Yeah,
you just love a gritty guy.
You need a gritty guy in March.
Yeah, gritty guys in March feast.
Texas versus Virginia Tech, Tyler. I don't love Virginia Tech. Obviously, they're coming off of a ACC tournament win, but I don't know enough about Texas either. Tyler's got the horns up. Is he going to turn them down? Oh, boy. Back-to-back years, we're going against the Longhorns. I think I'll go with you. We're riding the hot hand this year, Tyler. I think last year we did too much of the rest versus, hot. Well, I don't know. What would be the term for that?
Versus you got hotter if you rested more, and that's just the opposite.
Yeah.
You get cold.
I think you got to stay moving, right? Stay moving around, keep the blood moving.
Kinetic energy.
Yes, keep it kinetic. Purdue versus Yale. I got to go with the Boilermakers on this one.
Yeah, send them through.
Murray State, San Francisco.
This is tough.
I somewhat smell an upset, but Murray State very convincing. I think they only lost like once or twice this year.
I think it was twice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Murray State on this one. I mean, I don't know too much about San Francisco. I'm pretty sure they probably have one guy that averages 35 points, and that's the only reason why they're in this. But yeah, I like the Racers.
Okay. For me, Kentucky all day in this one.
Oh,
Versus St.
absolutely.
Peter's. Hopping over here to the
Is this
Midwest.
St. Peter's first NCAA tournament? I've never seen them ever.
I don't know. I would guess so. Yeah, I don't remember them at all. If they have, they just obviously got bounced in the first round. Crackerjack ain't made of money. If you guys came to Green Bay, yeah, we've been 3 times already. My dad and I, Packers fans / owners. You come to Green Bay, we gotta hit up Dave and Buster's, get all sorts of fucked up. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I am with that. I will definitely hit you up next time we're in Green Bay. I love Dave and Buster's. I love getting fucked up. And if you're a Packers fan, I feel like I'll love you too. So that sounds like a great time. We got Auburn versus Jayville State. Is that Johnsonville? Jacksonville. Okay. Johnsonville Brats. I'm going Auburn this one.
I agree.
USC Miami, Tyler. I almost want to just coin flip because I don't know enough.
I like Miami in this one.
All right. I was going to lean towards that as well.
Although USC, they do have, what's his brother? The guy that plays for the Cavaliers that got drafted out of USC. I'm still going to lean with Miami on this one.
Garland?
No, it's their center, Mobley.
Oh, okay.
His brother. You know what? I'm switching. I want to go USC.
Okay.
I don't trust Miami that much.
I always like the Trojans. I don't know why. Even though
OJ Mayo.
I don't like them IRL on my penis. Anyways, moving on. Wisconsin Colgate, Tyler. Part of me likes an upset here. The Badgers, they won the Big Ten tournament. I just feel like there's almost too much riding in their favor.
I gotta push the Badgers through on this one. Colgate, there's no shot that they have anybody good. They haven't had anybody good since Adoniel Foyle. Look up that name, Austin. Averaged 47 points in the Civic Center back in the 90s.
Wow. Crazy brain blast stat from fucking Megamind Hayes over here. Thanks for that one. I'll go with you. For some reason, Colgate screams upset for me for some reason, as does Iowa State. I'm a big Iowa State guy in the tournament ever since those years when they had who were those guys? I think they had like Royce White and
they had
someone else. They had some guys that were just like sick.
They had Halabook or whatever his name was last year that got drafted, who's having a great year with the Pacers.
Halliburton,
that's right. Is it the Pacers? Is he on the Pacers? I know he got traded.
No, he was on the Kings.
Yeah, but
he might have just got traded to the Pacers.
Yeah, that's what it was. You know, Austin, whatever you want in this one, I don't really care. This game is not appealing to me. I could go either way.
Okay. Yeah, I like the upset here. I feel like we need an upset in this bracket, and I don't think we're going to get it from South Dakota State. The Providence Friars winning the Big East title for the first time. I got to go with them. They got a solid squad over there.
You think Sunny's going to be at that game?
If she's not working.
Yeah.
Next game, Iowa versus Richmond. Tyler, I got to go with our old Siena coach, Brand McCaffrey, Iowa. Solid team. You know, I think, did they win the Big Ten regular season?
I think they were really close, honestly.
I think they won the regular season, and then the Badgers won the tournament, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Perhaps.
Anyways, next matchup, San Diego State versus Creighton. I feel
like we see this matchup every single year.
Yeah, they just must have like the biggest arch rivalry.
Like, it's always San Diego State Creighton. I feel like I've seen that the past 20 years of my life.
Yeah. Do you want to coin flip it? I don't.
Yeah.
All right. Heads San Diego, tails Creighton. Probably gonna be tails. All right, Creighton moving on. 1 versus 16. I don't think we need to say much here. Kansas. Moving up 2:15. I'm picking Villanova. Wildcats over Delaware.
Agreed.
Ooh.
Loyola Chicago.
All right.
I'm not going against whatever her name is.
Sister Jean,
Sister Jean.
she's still kicking over there?
She's there.
She's still rolling around? All right.
What the fuck is Longwood besides me?
Yeah, right. I don't know, but I think they need a little bit more wood to beat Tennessee in this matchup.
Yeah, I tend to see go Vols, Rocky Top.
Interesting one here. Michigan at the 11 seed versus number 6 Colorado State. You smell that, Tyler? I'm almost smelling an upset in this one.
I kind of want to flip this one because I do like Colorado State at 6. Michigan, I think they fell to that spot a lot because of Juwan Howard. I'm gonna agree with you though. I'll go upset Michigan. I think they're a decent team.
They need some redemption for Juwan Howard.
Yeah, they got to put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
How are you a 1 seed last year and now you're an 11? That is crazy.
Yeah. Big Ten was pretty competitive this year. You know, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. At the 4 seed versus Chattanooga, I'm going with the Fighting Illini.
Yeah, I'll agree on that one.
UAB, they do have a pretty good star player, Tyler, that kind of went crazy in their conference tournament, but Houston, for me, has just been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that. I like Houston a lot, although I do like star players that go off in the tournament, a.k.a. Jimmer.
Yeah, they kind of have that guy. Let me see if I can find his name. UAB basketball. Let's see. We'll pull this one up. Stats or UAB.
Nope, UAB.
Points must be this guy, Michael Ertl.
Well, the one guy had 21. He had one more point than him.
What did I miss? Jordan Walker's. I think this is the guy.
No, that's baseball.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, I don't give a fuck. We already made the decision on Houston. Next matchup, Seton Hall, TCU. Tyler.
Seton Hall, baby.
I would say Seton Hall, just Big East, you know.
They also play in East Rutherford.
Oh, okay. Next matchup, 116. We'll push Arizona forward. All right, moving on, Tyler. Back to the West. Gonzaga, Boise State. I got the Gonzaga Bulldogs in this one.
Yeah, I'm going Zags with you.
Next matchup.
You might as well coin flip it because I'm going to Arkansas.
All right, I told you I was going to coin flip every matchup for UConn. So heads UConn. Right.
Tails, Razorbacks.
Tails, Arkansas.
Thank fucking God.
Fuck.
Thank God.
You cursed yourself. I hope you know that. Now the Huskies are going to move on to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4.
I hope that does happen for you, Austin, but it's not.
All right. Now I have no sentimental or biased decisions on this, and I can
glad we got that out of
bet
the way.
with my head. And my thinking head, if you know what I'm talking about. I got Texas Tech on this one. They've been solid all year long.
Didn't they just lose though in the Big 12 championship, or did they win? No, I'm thinking of Texas A&M.
Yeah, no, I don't know. They've been solid. They've been a top 25 team, top 15 team, if I'm not mistaken, all year long.
Let's go Texas Tech on this one.
All right. Next one, I got Duke Blue Devils. I don't see them being bounced this early on Coach K's farewell tour.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have picked Davidson to go over Michigan State if you didn't say Coach K versus Coach Izzo one more time. So
yeah, no, it's everything's rigged.
I hate Michigan State so much.
Yeah,
passion.
I don't love them. Definitely doesn't help that Cody is a fan of them and he just has to talk shit about them all year long.
Yeah.
Baylor.
Easy.
Yup. Tyler, do we push the Cinderella forward? I feel like this kind of might be our team. We don't even know who it is, but like you said, we got 2 over 1. And I'm not a mathematician, but usually 2 is greater than 1.
I mean, I'd be down. I do like UCLA though. I mean, let's do it. What do we have to lose?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
$0.
Cerro Dinero de Dolores. That's it. Okay.
Sure.
Purdue, Virginia Tech.
I kind of want Virginia Tech on this one.
I'll coin flip it. I'll leave it up to fate.
Okay.
I kind of like Purdue. So heads Virginia Tech, tails Purdue. All right, we got the heads. We got another upset going on. Number 11, Virginia Tech into the Sweet 16. I
I want to
see.
go another upset.
Do you now? All right, we
I
got to
like
flip
Murray
it.
State. I really do.
No.
Is Kentucky good?
Oh yeah, they've had. Excuse me. They got a better season going on this year than like their past 3 years. I feel like. But we'll flip it. We'll leave it up to fate. I feel like now we have just an absurd amount of upsets going on in this region. But maybe that's the chaos region. Who knows? So heads,
That
Tyler.
was
We got
Murray State.
we got another upset moving on here.
Oh, I love it. Love.
I got Auburn in this matchup.
I'll agree with you on that one.
All right,
I
Wisconsin,
have
Iowa State.
I have Wisconsin.
I got Iowa.
I want to go Providence.
All right. We'll flip it. Iowa
I
for
don't
me.
like Iowa. I mean, I don't think they're as good this year as they were last year.
See, I think now there's like less pressure, and they can just go out and play basketball. But we'll flip it. We'll flip it.
Tails is
Hey,
Providence.
flip it. All right. Tyler is like 4 for 5 on his flips so far. Kansas moving on. There's
Agreed.
Creighton.
The Battle of the Kansases, I think. Creighton might be in St.
Ah,
Louis,
I
actually.
thought it
Never
was
mind.
Missouri.
Never mind.
Yeah,
They're close enough.
close enough. Midwest. Loyola Chicago, Tyler versus Villanova. You like Sister Jean in this one?
I think I want to go Sister Jean pushing through. It's up to you, though.
Sure. I'm with it. Fuck Villanova. If the Huskies aren't making it to the Sweet 16, neither are the Villanova Wildcats. Are they the
Yes,
Wildcats?
yes.
Yeah. I
Oh,
like Tennessee in this one.
I really like Michigan, but I'll agree with you on Tennessee.
You almost didn't put Michigan through the last round.
I know, but if I push them through the round of 32, the momentum in my head thinks that they could beat anybody.
Huh. Okay. Next one. This is gonna be interesting if it shapes out to this 5 versus 4. Four. I don't know why I said that weird. Houston versus Illinois. I'd probably go Houston in this one.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Okay. We're on the same page there. And Arizona in this one, we in
Yes.
agreement on.
Yes.
All right. It's getting down to it now, Tyler. I got to go with Gonzaga. I think they've
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. I probably don't need to say much.
Yeah.
This will be interesting, Tyler. I don't know. I almost want to coin flip it because, like, on one hand, I feel like Duke's a better team, but also like Texas Tech, I think they're a good tournament team.
I'll coin flip it.
All right.
I don't really like this game that much. I would probably go Texas Tech, but
Oh,
and it's Duke.
Texas, or okay, yep, Duke was on the bottom. Duke it is. Um, I think a Cinderella story kind of ends here. Tyler versus Baylor.
Yes.
Murray State, Virginia Tech. If Murray State is going this far, I feel like we got to go with them.
Yeah, I kind of like them this far. That Virginia Tech game is it's that team is tempting,
Hmm.
coming this far, but I'll go Murray State on this one.
All right, Wisconsin, Auburn. I feel if we got them this far, I might have to roll with Wisconsin. The commanding win in the Big Ten tournament.
I'm gonna go the opposite. I love Bruce Pearl.
All right, coin flip it. Can I get a little luck here? Coin flip. Fuck no. Tyler is now 9 for 10 on his coin flips thus far. Kansas, Providence. I got Kansas.
Is Kansas that good?
Yes, they're a number one
Okay.
seed.
Yeah,
They're
well, thanks.
yeah.
I'll go Kansas then.
All right.
I feel like I'm being bullied into it.
This one I don't think Loyola Chicago gets past
No,
Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah, by far.
Volunteers moving on. I do like Arizona as well. That would be my pick.
I got burned last year on Houston, so I'll agree with you on that.
All right. Now, Final Four, Tyler. It's between Gonzaga, Duke,
Well,
Arizona,
no, this
Tennessee.
is the Elite Eight.
Well, yeah, to get to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Baylor, Murray State, Kansas, Auburn. We'll start here. 1 versus 2, Gonzaga versus Duke. Tyler, what do you think? I need to hear you talk about it for a little bit because I'm torn.
Well, I don't think Duke is as good as Gonzaga on paper. I think Gonzaga has, a lot of young guys in Chet Holmgren with also a lot of older guys that have played on their team that went to the national championship. I think they're a well-rounded team. They did lose to St. Mary's, but St. Mary's is a 5 seed. Duke, I don't think they're a consistent team. I think they have, one good scorer in Paolo Banchero, but
Hmm.
after that, I'm not feeling that great about their team as a whole. Yeah, they have three guys that are top lottery picks in the NBA draft this season. But I think this is the end of the road.
Hmm.
Shout out Boys to Men. You can play it, Alexa. Alexa, Boys to Men, end of the
Hmm.
road. For Coach K.
All right.
And Gonzaga's moving on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Gonzaga gets their first Final Four appearance in program history.
Well, didn't
Um,
they go to a national championship
I, th- I
like
thought so,
last
but
year, 2 years ago?
I heard someone talking about it, and they said it would be their first. Either way, I think Gonzaga is a better team. They have the better star player, and the quicker Duke is bounced from the tournament, the quicker Coach K can take his grandson to an AA meeting. Um, so I feel like that will bode well for them. Baylor, Murray State, Tyler. I hate doing multiple number one seeds, but through your bullshit coin flips, here we are. Unless you think Murray
That's just
State
rude.
is good, is that legit? I don't
I
think so,
don't
but
I don't think they're that legit. I think Baylor has like probably the deepest team in the NCAA tournament this season.
mm-hmm.
I really like Baylor, and I think that's going to be a tough game for me to decide on Baylor versus Gonzaga, but
Mm.
I think they definitely can handle Murray State.
Yeah, I don't think they'll actually play Murray State.
Who do you
um,
think they'll actually play?
Kentucky
Kentucky.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
definitely. I would have
for
picked
sure.
Kentucky for my Final Four, but Tyler is a fucking magician when it comes to coin flips, so I lost that one. Next one, I like Kansas in this one.
I like Auburn in this one.
All right, we'll coin flip it. Heads, Kansas. Tails, Auburn. And I won one for once, Kansas.
All one seeds.
Three
Here we
one
go.
seeds so far, Tyler. I do like Arizona, but I feel like just for disparity's sakes, we got to get a different seed in there.
I would go Tennessee Final Four.
All right.
I would actually pick them over Arizona.
I don't hate this bracket, Tyler. I know, after the first 2 days we're gonna be saying what the fuck were we thinking? Um, this is bullshit. Probably all our Final Four teams lost and get upset. But looking at it right now, we got three number one seeds and a 3 seed. I don't hate it. Moving on to the Final Four now to decide who's gonna play in the national championship game. I guess if I put Gonzaga this far, I think I gotta ride with them. Yeah.
I'm going Gonzaga with you. I like Baylor. I don't think they're the same Baylor team that won the national championship. They definitely don't have the guards up front in their front court. They do have some good depth, but Gonzaga is probably the most all around team in the tournament, and
Hmm.
I mean the most of that is Chet Holmgren. The white
Yeah.
KD.
Yeah, got to put some muscle on those bones for the next level. But right now in college, dude's balling out. This matchup, Tyler, I'm kind of torn. I wouldn't hate a coin flip unless you feel strongly about one team,
No, I'll go coin flip on this one. I do like Tennessee in this one, but I could
just to
see
decide
Kansas winning.
fate. All right, we got
Fuck
Tennessee.
yes.
Oh boy. Now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like Tennessee. I just feel like Gonzaga always gets so far and then they just choke. And then like Tennessee playing in the SEC, I think they have a lot of good players on their squad this year. I think it would be ironic for them to win one without Bruce Pearl after him being the coach for so long.
I think I got to go Gonzaga on this one. I think this is the
Mm.
first year they win the tournament. They have a really good team. Obviously, no Jalen Suggs like they did last year,
All
but
right.
I think they're a little bit stronger than this Tennessee team. Although I wouldn't hate seeing Tennessee win. My sister did go there, so
Well, it is going to be Tennessee that we pick for the national champion. Uh, Tyler, you pick the first score. I'll pick the second.
uh, 93,
No, no.
86.
Make it realistic, honey. How many games in the '80s of college basketball have you seen?
This is going to be a high scoring game.
Okay, what?
77.
Okay, better.
Austin's
68.
like, you picked the first one, but I'll agree on it.
I mean, 90 points? I don't know that there's ever been a March Madness game scored 90 points. Maybe that UConn Kentucky game back in the day. Tyler, the only thing I'm going to leave on, the last time UConn started out the March Madness tournament in Rochester, New York, they won the national title. That's all I'm going to say.
Is that where they are this year?
Yep.
Also, I may add, I might fly out to this. Notice the dates, April 2nd in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like a good time to me.
That'd be incredible. Yeah, I saw one March Madness game. It was a Elite Eight game, I believe, at the Carrier Dome, Louisville versus Michigan State. So I can only imagine what the Final Four would be like. There you have it, the no-look official
Speaking
bracket.
of Carrier Dome, Syracuse,
Yeah.
they won their national championship in New Orleans.
Well, they're not in this tournament, so
as they shouldn't be.
They won't be able to repeat. The official no-look podcast bracket, we got Tennessee over Gonzaga, 77-68.
I'm not proud.
Click and submit. What the fuck is this?
So last year we picked Iowa to win it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Just an incredible formulated list of teams that we expect to win it. I love it.
Can I rename this somehow? Oh, well. We'll know the AC Weezy one is the No Look podcast. All right, Tyler. You got to get to bed. It's late over there on the East Coast. And I got to gear up for Monday Night Gaming. I'll be right back. I'm gonna switch it over. I'm gonna grab some food real quick before I pass out. I have not eaten since 2 p.m. It is now 9 p.m. where I am. Tyler, appreciate you staying up, and we'll be back.
Love you.